Well, kicking things off in this mega review, we have David Lean's other epic, The Bridge on the River Kwai. Now, of course, Lean will always be best remembered for Lawrence of Arabia, and perhaps rightfully so, but for me, The Bridge on the River Kwai is the highly superior film, with a slightly shorter running time, excellent performances, and a story that's a little bit more cohesive for my money. I find The Bridge on the River Kwai to be a truly stunning achievement in film, and just a fantastic movie from start to finish. There isn't one minute of this movie that's dull, and when you have a film that's almost 3 hours long that was made in 1970, that's saying quite a bit in my opinion. The film features just amazing performances from Alec Guinness and William Holden, and it's finally been released on Blu-ray, and it really is a spectacular edition. It comes in Sony's hardcover book packaging. It's a 2-disc set, so you get a gigantic book. It's about 32 pages of full-color photos, a really nice article on the making of the film. You also get 12 replicas of original theatrical lobby cards. On top of that, there's some new Blu-ray exclusive special editions, including appearances of William Holden and Alec Guinness on The Steve Allen Show, which is a lot of fun. Newly discovered archival audio of William Holden narrating the premiere of the film, and a picture and graphics track called Crossing the Bridge. Some really cool stuff there. The packaging is beautiful. The film itself looks and sounds beautiful. It's not the end-all be-all transfer in terms of picture quality. There is a little bit of excessive grain from time to time, but for the most part, colors really pop and image clarity is exceptional. And then the soundtrack, of course, is also. We get a 5.1 surround soundtrack, and overall it's quite active and it sounds good. There's a little bit of a sense of age to the soundtrack. You can tell this film wasn't recorded last year, but all in all, you really can't ask for much more. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is one of the must-have releases of the year, and it's just a fantastic movie and a fantastic package from start to finish. Next up, also on Blu-ray, we have Doctor Who, the complete 5th series. Now, this is the new Doctor, and that is Matt Smith, and so it's an interesting transition from David Tennant to Matt Smith. Like most of the Doctors in the current Doctor Who series, Matt Smith is a little bit goofy and a little bit over the top, but that's kind of really what Doctor Who is all about. What makes the 5th season so good for me is the addition of Karen Gillan as the Doctor's newest companion, who is, on top of being just beautiful, really I think the most interesting companion that we've had really since Rose in the first 2 seasons. She's instantly likable, tough, smart, funny, and aside from a couple of moments in the first episode where she can be a little bit annoying, she's really a great addition to the show. So this is a beautiful set. It's of course a 6-disc set, as all of the Doctor Who series are, and as always it comes with a number of extra features, including some deleted scenes, the Monster Files featurettes, a 3-part video diary, the usual Doctor Who confidential making-ofs, which there's one of those for each episode on the set, in-vision commentaries, that's something new where you can see the commentary as you watch the episodes, outtakes, and of course all the teasers and trailers for the show as it went along. As usual, this is a really great looking and sounding set. Picture quality is fantastic. It's still the BBC, and even though it has higher production values than a lot of their shows, it's pretty good looking overall. Not perfect, but you get some really great colors, some good image clarity, nice shadow delineation, and of course the surround soundtrack really is a lot of fun. The special effects really do like to pop up from time to time wherever they can find room for them, so your speakers will get a little bit of a workout. So all in all, Doctor Who, the complete 5th series, another excellent release in the series of Doctor Who releases we've had since the show restarted a few years ago. Now, digging deep into the archives, we have the debut of Rush Hour on Blu-ray. Now, I'm not a fan of Brett Ratner. I never have been. I don't think for the most part the man can direct his way out of a paper bag. But in this particular case, the man stumbled upon a film that is fun. Of course, most of that is due to the combination of Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, neither of whom are the strongest performers in the world on their own right. Jackie Chan, of course, used to be brilliant, but in recent years, let's face it, he's gotten a little bit soft. But Tucker is a lot of fun in this film. While he can be annoying in big doses, this movie is really just enough of a dose of him, and paired up with Jackie Chan, they really do find kind of a good comedic timing that works really well. Of the trilogy, of course, the original film is my favorite, and it's a lot of fun to revisit on Blu-ray. That being said, it is not a must-have. It's a good, solid upgrade from the DVD to Blu-ray. You get some really nice picture quality. The surround sound is good. Everything is a little bit better than it is on the DVD, but it's not the kind of thing where it's worlds different from what the original looks like. Special features, there's a pretty decent collection. You get commentary by director Brett Ratner, additional scenes, a featurette gallery, Brett Ratner's short film, 2 music videos, and a commentary by composer Lalo Schifrin, which is pretty neat. There's also a theatrical trailer. That being said, those are all available in other forms as well, other than the DVD of Rush Hour. None of them are brand new and exclusive to Blu-ray, so again, upgrading isn't necessarily something that's required unless you're a super big fan of this movie or you don't already own it. And if that's the case, then this is definitely the version that you'll want to pick up. Now finally, we have Harpoon, Whale Watching Massacre. And I think in this case, the fact that the movie is called Harpoon, Whale Watching Massacre pretty much tells you everything you need to know. If it doesn't tell you everything you need to know, then the fact that Gunnar Hansen is the top-billed actor in it, of course Gunnar Hansen being the original Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, should kind of fill you in on the rest. This is a horror film, and it's, you know, I love horror films. I like slasher films. I find them to be a lot of fun. I like really good psychological suspense horror. What I don't care for is this sort of in-between genre of what I call brutality horror, and that's things like your Texas Chainsaw Massacre and your Saw movies and the Last House on the Left and the People in the Woods and all these movies. I don't care for these kinds of really brutal, dark films that are just bleak images of death after death after death after death. It's not really my thing, and that's what Harpoon Whale Watching Massacre is. It's a great premise. It's about a bunch of people who get picked up by the wrong boat, and it's a boat full of psychopaths. I don't know where these boats exist, but I guess they're out there. And of course they start to get picked off one by one, and they fight for survival. And you know, if you like that kind of really dirty, disgusting film, then you will enjoy this movie. It just doesn't happen to be my cup of tea. Now, in terms of the audiovisual quality, you get exactly what the filmmakers intended, I think, and that's kind of that feeling that every cell of this film is coated in grime. It's not a bad picture quality, it just has a certain characteristic to it that I think really mirrors what the filmmakers were going for. The soundtrack is quite active, there's really nothing wrong with it. It's a typical horror film soundtrack, meaning the louds are a little too loud and the quiets are a little too quiet, but dialogue is solid and the surround activity is good when it needs to be, mostly in a few key action scenes. It's not the most ambiance-filled mix I've ever heard, but it's not terrible either. In terms of extra features, the only thing you really get is a behind-the-scenes with Gunnar Hansen, so it's not too much extra bang for your buck, but again, if you really like this kind of movie, then this one is probably worth checking out. It is watchable, and it's not entirely unentertaining for the type of film that it is. Again, I just don't tend to like these types of films.